Before we dive into the story, comment below where you're watching from. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more HFY sci-fi stories in the far reaches of known space, beyond the trade routes, beyond the military patrol zones, beyond the maps most captains trusted. There was a world nobody cared about anymore. Its name was Narration, a frozen colony on the edge of galactic civilization. Once home to nearly 2 million Virelians, now it was dying. The sky never changed. Grey clouds covered the horizon day and night. Ancient towers stood abandoned. Factories had gone silent years ago. And the cold seemed endless. But the worst part wasn't the weather. It was the silence, because children were still there. Thousands of them. Orphans, forgotten by the galaxy 3 years earlier. A plague had swept through the Virelian Empire, not a disease, a bioweapon. Released during one of the countless border wars. Entire cities vanished. Families disappeared overnight. Parents died. Children survived. Too many children. More than the empire could support. At first, the government promised help. Food, medicine, transport ships, shelter. The promises lasted 6 months. The supplies lasted 4. Then the politicians stopped talking about them altogether. The orphans became statistics. Statistics became reports. Reports became archives. And archives became dust. Now, the children waited for rescue, for help, for anyone. No one came. 12-year-old Lyra stood on top of a broken observation tower overlooking the frozen wasteland. Every morning she climbed there. Every morning she searched the sky. And every morning she found nothing. Still, she kept looking. Because hope was easier than giving up. Anything? A small voice asked behind her. Lyra turned. A boy no older than 8 stood there, thin, hungry, shivering. His name was Jalen. No, she replied softly. The boy nodded, like he expected the answer. Because everyone did. The food reserves had fallen dangerously low. Power cells were nearly empty. Medical supplies were gone. And winter was getting worse. The oldest children already understood the truth. Nobody was coming. That night, the colony's emergency council gathered. Only 7 adults remained. Teachers, engineers, caretakers, the last survivors. And the news wasn't good. We have enough food for 8 days. Silence. Power for 6. More silence. After that, nobody finished the sentence. They didn't need to. Everyone already knew. Across the galaxy, nobody noticed. Trade ships moved. Empires negotiated. Politicians argued. Wars started. Wars ended. Entire civilizations discussed economics. While thousands of children slowly starved on a forgotten world. Until one signal appeared. A tiny signal, weak, almost invisible. Lyra spotted it first. A blinking light in the atmosphere. Small, distant, moving. Her heart stopped, then started racing. A ship! She screamed. The sound echoed across the frozen colony. Children rushed outside. Adults followed. Everyone stared upward. The light grew larger and larger and larger. Hope returned for exactly 23 seconds. Then someone identified the vessel. Cargo ship, human. The crowd's excitement faded. Humans weren't part of the empire. Humans rarely helped anyone. At least, that's what everyone believed. The ship descended through grey clouds. Its engines thundered across the valley. Snow exploded beneath it. And finally, it landed. The cargo vessel looked ancient. Scratched hull, burn marks, old repair patches. Nothing impressive, nothing heroic, nothing special. The side door opened. Silence spread across the colony. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Then a single figure stepped out. Human, male, middle-aged, heavy coat, grey beard, tied eyes. He looked around slowly, at the broken buildings, the starving children, the frozen streets, the empty shelters. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he whispered, "Oh God!" And suddenly, his face changed. Not disgust, not fear, not pity. Anger, pure anger. Because this wasn't a disaster. This wasn't bad luck. This wasn't nature. Someone had abandoned these children. And the human knew it immediately. "What happened here?" he asked. Nobody answered. Because nobody knew where to begin. His name was Captain Marcus Hale. Officially, he wasn't supposed to be there. His cargo route had taken him hundreds of light years away. Narith-7 wasn't on his schedule, wasn't on his map, wasn't even on his mission list. But 3 days earlier, his ship intercepted a dying transmission, a child's voice, weak, crying, terrified. "Please!" Static. "Anyone?" Static. "We're still here." Most captains would have ignored it. The signal came from a dead colony, a forbidden zone, a place governments wanted forgotten. Marcus changed course anyway, and now, standing in front of thousands of starving alien children, he realized the transmission hadn't exaggerated anything. It had actually been worse. Much worse. The little girl named Lyra stepped forward. "You came." Marcus looked down at her. The words hit harder than any weapon. Not because she was happy. Not because she was relieved. Because she sounded surprised. As if nobody had ever come before. And that broke something inside him. He looked toward his ship. Then toward the colony. Then back toward the children. A decision formed simple. Immediate. Human. He activated his communicator. Cargo vessel horizon, calling all nearby frequencies. Static answered. Then a few responses. Marcus inhaled deeply and said words that would soon shake half the galaxy. "Listen carefully. There are thousands of abandoned children on Narith-7. They've been left here to die." A pause, then his voice hardened. "And if their government won't save them..." The old cargo captain looked at the frozen colony, at Lyra, at Jalen, at every frightened child staring back. And then he finished the sentence. "Humanity will,